Right guys, back with another video for Son of Scotland TV. It's going to be an SPFL transfer news update video. And as you may know, or maybe you do not know, Aberdeen recently sold striker Adam Rooney to SALFORD City. Who the fuck are SALFORD City? Well, they're a club that are in the National English League, and they're owned by former Manchester United right back Gary Neville. Now, I did hear rumours that this deal was approximately around 1.2 million. So obviously, when I heard it was 1.2 million, I didn't really know who SALFORD City was. I was like, how the fuck are they spending that amount of money on an Aberdeen player? Then I found out that Gary Neville owns them, so it kind of makes sense now. I guess Gary Neville's probably got more money than Aberdeen combined. You know what I mean? All the players and all the owners and managers at Aberdeen, man, and what the club's worth and still in the stadium. Gary Neville's probably still got about 10 times more money than that. But I just thought this deal was strange, and I also heard Aberdeen, I think they made an official statement saying that they couldn't refuse this deal, and I think that's sad. You talk about Scottish football and you talk about like how Aberdeen have been second best in the league for like 4 years, and when Aberdeen can't hold on to a player and they have to sell him for financial reasons to SALFORD City, how can Aberdeen really expect to stay above Rangers long term? How can Aberdeen really ever expect to challenge Celtic if they need to financially sell Adam Rooney to SALFORD City? Do you know what I mean? It's sad. Apparently SALFORD City is going to offer Adam Rooney $4,000 a week, and that is more than he's getting at Aberdeen, which kind of, I don't know, obviously I don't know how much he gets at Aberdeen, but I wouldn't imagine it was much less than $4,000, unless I could be totally wrong here about the finances of Scottish football, but I thought Aberdeen would have been paying their players at least a couple of grand a week, and Adam Rooney, who has been one of the top striker they've got for the past several seasons, past 3, 4, 5 seasons, however long he's been there, I thought he would have been on it about $4,000, if not a bit more. So I can't imagine that $4,000 is, if it is more than what he's currently on at Aberdeen, I can't imagine it's much more. But it was enough to tempt them away to SALFORD City. And I do think it's sad, not just for Aberdeen that they had to sell him, but also that Adam Rooney would want to go. They're not even in the English Football League, man. They're not even in League 2, they're in the league below that. And he is leaving the Scottish Premiership to go play SALFORD City. He's leaving games against Celtic behind. He's leaving games against Rangers behind. Hibs, Hearts, big teams in Scottish football. He's leaving the possibility of silverware. Alright, you could argue that, SALFORD City could win the National League this year. Who gives a fuck the National League? Does that even count as a trophy? When you've got the Scottish Cup, Betfred Cup, you've got Aberdeen in Europe, albeit, yes, they probably won't last long, but fuck, that's going to be a massive game, that Aberdeen against Burnley. And if I was a player, I would rather be playing in that match on Thursday than a pre-season friendly with SALFORD City. That much is for sure. So, very surprised here. Derek McInnes has also came out in this, and he said that Aberdeen should not be losing out to lower league clubs for players. And he's right, they shouldn't be. How can a team that's finished second in the past, 4 seasons in the Scottish Premiership, how can they possibly lose out to SALFORD City? Makes zero fucking sense to me. I know England's got a lot more finances than Scotland, but that's fucking ridiculous. The team that's finished second, the second best team in Scotland, loses out to SALFORD City, a team that's not even in the professional English league. Fucking hell, man. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think down below, guys, but I think that's absolutely mental, and I think it's a big mistake, because last year when Aberdeen brought in Stevie May, I thought it was great. You've seen Stevie May at St Johnstone, and he was a great player. I just thought perhaps for injury reasons, and maybe down south, he just didn't really get on, but since he's been back at Aberdeen, I've just not really seen the same sort of performance levels he showed at the Saints, and I don't think he's the player he was, and I don't think he's better than Adam Rooney. I think Adam Rooney would get more goals if he played them both in the Aberdeen team over the season and the start of every game. I think Adam Rooney would get more goals. You can argue that Stevie May is a better player all round, but goals win you games, and it's hard to get a really good goal scorer in the Scottish Premiership, and Adam Rooney was that. He was a fox in the box. He, a heading genius. He was a poacher. He was like a fucking Chris Boyd, an Irish Chris Boyd. You know, he was good at what he does. He might not be all round a great player, might not be technically gifted, but you cross the ball into him, and if he's in that box, he had a chance of scoring. And now he's not got any chance of scoring for Aberdeen because he's moved to SALFORD fucking City, which is, like I said, very bloody sad. And it's it's sad that Aberdeen decided to sell him. So, I know, guys, let me know what you think down below about this. But I think it's mental. McGuinness will now use the money generated by the Rooney deal to bolster his own squad, and says the fee received means he maybe has the opportunity to bring in 1 or 2 more. So, 1 or 2 more. Does that mean 1 or 2 more good players? Or are they going to sign like 1 or 2 free agents that cost fuck all? If it is 1.2 million, come on Aberdeen. I'm not an Aberdeen fan, but I like how they've been the second best team for too long. It was Rangers and Celtic, and it's nice to see another club up there. But if they're selling Adam Rooney and they're not going to replace him with quality, if they're not going to spend that 1.2 million on the squad, then how can they expect to challenge Rangers? I'm not saying Rangers don't have the money they used to, don't have the spending power they did back in the early 2000s, late 90s, but they can still. Last season they spent 10 million. They can still do that. If Aberdeen can't at least spend the money they're receiving for their players, then what chance have they got? So I forget what the Aberdeen chairman is, but if he wants Aberdeen to still be competing for that second place, then he has to invest. Otherwise, they will get caught. Hibs and Hearts will get strong. Well, maybe not Hearts with Craig Levein because he's shite, but Hibs and Hearts, if they get the right manager, they will get stronger. They're just financially better off clubs, whether it be due to playing in Edinburgh or I don't know what it is, but they just seem to have more spending money, and I do believe that in 5 years, I think Hearts and Hibs will be in front of Aberdeen in the league, because Aberdeen just don't seem to have the money, they don't seem to spend. And yeah, man, that is fucking it. Like, I don't know why Hearts can get a player like Stevie Naismith and Kyle Lafferty, whereas Aberdeen can't. I mean, why can't Aberdeen do that? I mean, second 4 years in a row, and they can't attract like major players. I don't know. I think it's sad. The McKenna, if they had to financially sell, if they had to sell Adam Rooney for financial reasons, then how long is it before they sell Scott McKenna? Now I know Aberdeen said they want 10 million, but if they were, if they sold Adam Rooney for 1.2 million like that, they won't be able to hold it for 10 million for McKenna. Someone could come in tomorrow, 2.5 million bid for McKenna, and if Aberdeen, as they say, if they need that money, if they're not financially bad off that they need to sell Adam Rooney for 1.2, then why would they hold it for 10 million with McKenna? If someone's going to offer them 2.5 or 3, they'll take it. So very, very sad, I think, Aberdeen, that they can't compete with Salford City for fucking players. Mental. And apparently Motherwell boss Stephen Robertson also commented on this. Where the fuck did he say? Yeah, there used to be an etiquette in football where that's Gary Neville's reply. Motherwell boss, yeah, they blew us away with the money. Another club, Gary Neville says there wouldn't be an etiquette in football where you wouldn't talk about another club's business. Open seasons with Salford City, everyone wants a punch or a dig, whatever that means. This guy can fuck off. Are you trying to tell me Gary Neville over the past 10 seasons hasn't mentioned City and their spending money? Fucking sure he has. No, I mean, I can't remember one exact time, but I'm just thinking on Monday Night Football he is bound to have mentioned Man City and their spending power over the past decade. So, but now he owns Salford City and no one's allowed to talk about spending money. Fucking joke, man. It is what it is. If he wants to put his money into a football club, he's entitled to do that, but to try and say that no one else can talk about that is a fucking joke. What is he, a dictator? What is this, Nazi Germany? Fuck off, Gary Neville, you prick, right? Salford City should not be competing with Scottish teams in the Premier, even Scottish teams in the fucking Championship. Even Dundee United should be able to get better players than Salford City, but obviously now that's not the case with Neville's millions. But anyway, there you go. I like Stephen Robinson. I think he's a good manager. Fuck you, Gary Neville. I like you, great pundit, but you're out of order here trying to say no one can talk about your club's spending money. Absolute joke. And there you go, guys. That's it. Adam Rooney away to Salford City. Let me know what you think down below. Will Aberdeen bring in players to replace him? I think they need to. Overall, I think they need to add at least 3 or 4 players to their team, or they're not going to finish second. I mean, I looked last year, and I think it was more Rangers being poor than Aberdeen being great that got them second. And even then, Hibs towards the end of the season were much better than Aberdeen and Rangers, and they were just unlucky. So many games where Hibs drew where they should have won. I remember them like pummeling teams, and they would end up drawing 1-1 even though they dominated. So I can't see Aberdeen finishing second this season. Let me know down below what you think. I think Derek McInnes has done enough at the club, but I don't think he can take them much further because he's just not getting. as the teams behind them are, spending more money, they're getting closer to Aberdeen. Aberdeen's going the opposite way. Aberdeen's getting worse, and you can argue, they only finished 8 points behind Celtic, but I think Celtic had a poor season this year as well. So that's it, guys. There you go. I'm not hating on Aberdeen here. I think they've been tremendous past 4 or 5 seasons. So I've always given them a lot of credit. I think in the Ronnie Dyler era, one of the seasons they could have won the league mathematically if they lost to Celtic all 4 games. If they'd have beat Celtic 3 out of the 4 games, they would have won the league, because obviously when you play the top teams around you, it's 6 pointers, and that's what cost them. So I'm not hating Aberdeen. I think they've been good. Gave them a lot of credit, but it's sad to see them lose it to Salford City, and it's sad, in my opinion, to see them, although they haven't dropped down the table in terms of positions, I think they were clear second, and now they're not, man. Now I'm looking at next season, and I could easily see them finishing 4th, if not a little bit lower than that. So, I mean, who knows, guys? I could be wrong. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think where Aberdeen's going to finish an upcoming season. Let me know what you think about Adam Rooney going. Let me know what you think about the financial spending power of Salford City compared to Scottish Premiership clubs. And let me know what you think about Gary Neville. Lots to talk about here. Anyway, I'm going to be out. Until next time, guys. Peace.